We just witnessed a quarter-final that was worthy of being a final. My name's Mark. Let's talk rugby. What an intense fight that was between two teams, top of their game. It was just an amazing game to watch. As an Ireland fan, disappointed, but I'm just glad that I got to see a game of that quality as well. So this one, at the start, Ireland, they're trying to put pressure on Aaron Smith. He puts, in a duff pass. Then Porter goes off his feet and gives away a penalty. I thought Porter honestly had a poor game for Ireland tonight, and I don't know why they didn't take him off earlier, because he wasn't getting the message in the scrums, and his contribution around the field wasn't, to me at least, wasn't good enough to keep him on. So not sure what was happening there, but there's a poor kick down from the penalty from New Zealand as both teams are kind of trying to feel their way into the game. New Zealand then put up another poor kick, but Ireland knock it on, and again, neither team are really settling. We have our first scrum. Ireland get the nudge, but Wayne Barnes says Porter was driving across the scrum, penalty to New Zealand, and every time he scrummed, Barnes was telling him, your hips are coming out, you got to straighten up, and he didn't. So he's got nobody to blame but himself. He can be, he gave Barnes some looks and stuff, but he knew what he was going to rule, and he wasn't doing anything about it. So, but then New Zealand, they enter the Ireland 22 from that line out. Ireland aggressive in defence, but New Zealand are hanging on to it well, and they're making some ground. They go wide, but it's a bit scrappy, so they go back into the forwards. After about 30 phases then, New Zealand, they finally get a penalty as Byrne is not rolling away. Mwanga makes it 3-0 from the tee. Ireland then, they win a penalty as Ringrose goes up the wing and Survey is pinged for not rolling away. Ireland kick to the corner. New Zealand, though, they get up, disrupt that line out, but it does come back on the Ireland side, but sign of things to come that New Zealand were going to compete in the line out. Ireland hardly competed at all in the line out. I'm not sure why, especially in the middle of the field, but maybe they wanted to just defend them all, and that's the tactic they went for. But Ireland, they got the ball, they go wide. Keenan can't find low, pass goes into touch, New Zealand clear. Already you can see things aren't quite right with that Ireland attack, but a lot of it is just the pressure that New Zealand are putting on. Their defensive efforts tonight was just absolutely amazing. We know they're a great attacking team, but tonight they showed they can do it in defence as well. Survey, he gets over the ball as Kane puts in a lovely hit on Doris, penalty to New Zealand. Jordy Barrett lines up the kick, a goal from halfway. He just smashes it over, and 6-0 to New Zealand. I feel like Ireland, they need to produce some kind of response now, because this game is going to be a close one, and they need to be getting scores early on. Hansen, Gibson Park and Ringrose, they combine, they make meters down the wing into the 22. Ireland are on attack. They're putting on the pressure in the shadows of the post. Ratagdo, he gets in there and turns it over. Brilliant from him. And it's just great defence from New Zealand. They're holding Ireland out, and Kane again gets over the ball and wins another penalty as Josh van der Fleer looked to carry. Lowe then, he goes quickly from a mark, and I'm not sure why he did, but New Zealand are able to run it back. Bowden Barrett puts in a lovely chip and regathers it. They then go wide. Fuinganuku, it was Fuinganuku and Ioane. They combine brilliantly out on the wing, and Fuinganuku goes over to score. Great try there. Mwanga converts from the touchline as well. His kicking from tee was excellent tonight, and such a tight game really did make a difference. Ireland, it's 13-0. Ireland win a penalty at the restart. Sexton decides, we've got to get something on the board. He pops it over for 13-3. We then have a stoppage as they have to sort out Wayne Barnes' comms because he can't hear his TMO. Ireland then get a penalty for not releasing at the breakdown. They go up the line. New Zealand, though, steal the line out. And, Ireland, they manage to turn the ball back over. after a poor kick from New Zealand. But that line out, we saw it being a problem for them against South Africa, and it's been a problem again for them tonight. And it feels like, another area they need to sort out, because for Ireland, the breakdown and the line out are the two kind of platforms they have for attacking. New Zealand are attacking them at both of those and taking them away from them, and it really is paying dividends for them. New Zealand's defence is winning it thus far for them, putting in huge hits and threatening the breakdown all the time. Ireland, though, they're beginning to force a few penalties, and they get themselves within 5 meters per pass, then makes Aki reach up for the ball. He gathers it and then steps past first Ioane and then Frizzell to go over to score. Sexton converts for 13-10, and this game really living up to the hype. We then have another chip from New Zealand, gathered this time by Savea, and they attack then through Will Jordan. Sheehan, though, puts in a great tackle on him, and Ireland get over the ball to win a penalty. But that chip over the top has Joe Schmidt written all over it. That's the kind of tactic that he would have seen, that space is there in that Ireland, the way Ireland set up. Ireland then again can't find a man in the line out, and they really do need to sort it out. We then have a 50-22 to New Zealand, and they've got a good attacking position themselves. Set up the dummy maul, and then they run it. They suck in the defence, and then they go out wide. Savea goes over in the corner. Really well worked from them. Mwanga, he misses the touchline conversion, but it's 18-10. It's a handy lead, especially with Ireland's line out not firing, meaning that they don't have as many opportunities to hit back. Ireland, though, then win a penalty for a deliberate knock-on. Mac Hansen, he made a bit of a half break. Aaron Smith then gets a yellow card as the TMO intervenes and shows kind of the angles on it, and they agree that it's definitely not a penalty try, but it was stopping a decent break. Ireland then go to the corner, but again they can't secure their own line out. I'm thinking at the time, can they secure their own line out? Sorry. Peter O'Mahony, though, does claim it. They went to him in that middle period a lot more, and he was a much safer pair of hands. They go to the maul. Then they go out to the backs again. Aki carries well. Savea, though, he gives away a penalty. And, maybe a bit lucky not to get a yellow card, because he came completely around the ruck and picked the ball up, just flung it back on his own side. And I think if Aaron Smith hadn't just gone to the bin, he probably would have gone instead. But Ireland then, they go to the corner, Peter Manu again, set up the maul. James gives a park, then sells the dummy from the back of that maul and darts over to score. Sexton converts, and it's a 1-point game, 18-17 at half time. Into the second half then, feeling Ireland, they need to start this well, much better than the first half, hopefully. New Zealand, they need to see out that yellow card without conceding again. You have lots of bombs going up from New Zealand at the start of the half. Ireland, they're dealing with them, but New Zealand are running that clock down on the yellow card. Hansen then kicks a 50-22. Good attacking position for Ireland. Ireland try an up and under in the 22, aimed at Peter O'Mahony, but he knocks it on. It's a good idea, but I'm thinking, why are they not holding onto it? Because they didn't even have a penalty advantage. That's the kind of thing you do if you have a kick to the post coming, but not in that situation. I didn't see the logic in that. And there's a few times Ireland were maybe a little bit too impatient, I felt. Hansen then, he tries a cross kick to Sheehan, but this one beats him into touch. And again, if it had gone to hand, yes, it's a great chance for a try, but it's only a 1-point game. Why are you not holding onto the ball, forcing a penalty, kick the penalty, get yourself ahead, and then try things like this to just stretch your lead? But Ireland, they're starting to look a bit more dangerous, but again, maybe they need to hold it onto the ball a bit more. Aaron Smith is now back on. Now New Zealand come forward, and it's Ireland's turn to defend. Porter steals it at the breakdown, and Ireland go to the wing through Keenan and Lowe. New Zealand, though, again get over the ball and win a penalty. Their defence so good tonight. Ireland, they need to protect the ball on attack. Like they need to resource that breakdown. They didn't really do it, until the very end when they were trying to, go for that try right at the end. But New Zealand then, they strike off the line out. Again, Ireland don't compete. It's a slick move. Mwanga, he sells a dummy in midfield, goes through a gap, and puts Will Jordan over to score what is basically his customary try. He's due a try every game, it seems. Geordie Barrett with a great conversion from out wide. It's 25-17. Lots of pressure from Ireland, but New Zealand are scoring the points, and that's really what counts. Ireland then lose Mac Hansen to injury. Jimmy O'Brien on from him. And it could have been game over shortly after that. Gibson Park throws an intercept to Aaron Smith, but Smith, he kind of has to stretch and goes to ground, and Ireland are able to get the ball back. Ireland holding on to the ball, and they win a penalty as New Zealand go off their feet. Sexton kicks for the post, but this one is off target. That's a huge miss in the context of the game. Should have been like a one score game again. And, Ireland really regretted that, I think, later on. Ireland then come again. Sexton, he goes for a kick over the top and it gets marked. And at this stage, I'm thinking if I'm the Ireland coach, Sexton's coming off and I'm putting Crowley on because, we can still win this, but Sexton, he doesn't seem right at this stage. And, yeah, I'd give Crowley a go because Crowley has shown that he could handle the pressure, but that doesn't happen. Ireland, they need cool heads, but New Zealand are the ones that are staying calm in defence. Ireland, they force a penalty. New Zealand not rolling away. They go to the corner. They need to score here. Byrne claims the line out. Ireland's maul just surges forward, then it goes to the ground. Wayne Barnes trots in under the post. It's a penalty try. Cody Taylor goes to the bin for hauling down the maul. We're at 25-14 and, big score. But now Ireland, they need to find at least one more from here. New Zealand, though, they win a scrum penalty. Ireland, they're not pushing straight. Geordie Barrett then misses to kick a goal, but New Zealand to get another chance because Conor Murray gives away a silly penalty for playing. He basically pulled the player off the ball as there was an up and under coming in. It was really well claimed, I think, by maybe Keenan, but that didn't matter because the penalty was already given away. Geordie Barrett gets another chance to kick for the post. He doesn't miss this one, 28-24, and that's crucial because it means that Ireland now, they need to score a try. Drop goal is no good for them. Ireland win a penalty then. Aki gets over the ball. They kick to the corner. Another massive moment in the game. And the game's just packed with them. New Zealand coming up with a lot of them. Ireland go to the maul. Murray, he's trying to get the ball out there because he knows there's space out in the backs, but the forwards want to keep it in. And then Geordie Barrett, amazing. He gets under, I think it was Kelleher, and holds him up over the line. It's a dropout to New Zealand. Massive, massive defence from New Zealand there. Brilliant from them. Then Doris knocks on the dropout, and you just know, it's not going to be Ireland's night when that happens. Ireland, they need to drive straight to scrum. Bowden Barrett then, he goes for a long range drop at goal, but it's nowhere near, but they're keeping the ball in the Ireland half and making Ireland run it out. Still, another score probably would seal it for New Zealand, so it was definitely worth having a go, even if you didn't get close. Ireland, to hold onto the ball for, I don't know how many phases it was. It was definitely more than 30 and possibly approaching 40. I'm not sure how many, but New Zealand, they finally get over the ball and they win that penalty, and that is the game. They get it off the field, full time, 28-24. They're into the semi-final. Ireland heading home again after another quarter-final disappointment, but New Zealand absolutely deserved to win that. They were the better team on the night. They had the better tactics, and they kept their cool in defence when Ireland came looking for the score to go ahead. New Zealand, they kept just, every time Ireland came back at them, they would stretch a little bit further away. Ireland come back again, they stretch away again. So they very crucial. They did never let Ireland get their noses in front in that second half. And because of that, Ireland were chasing the game at the end, and New Zealand, there was less pressure on the defence, I felt, because they knew Ireland needed a try. They didn't have to go in there and give away a penalty that they kicked to the corner. They could stand off a little bit, pick their point to go in and compete, and that's what they did really well all night. I felt they targeted that Irish breakdown. Ireland never really sorted out through the game. New Zealand were winning too many penalties. Ireland, on the other hand, normally you see the likes of Byrne, Peter O'Mahony being very competitive at the breakdown, but New Zealand's clear out was just on point and preventing them from being able to do that. So it meant that, the penalties at the breakdown mostly were one-way traffic. And, this was an excellent performance from New Zealand. Ireland, the likes of Johnny Sexton now retiring, they've been great servants for Ireland. You wonder if you're going to see the likes of Peter O'Mahony back in Ireland's shirt as well, Conor Murray, but that's what World Cups are about. They're only one team, their veterans are going to end on a high. The rest are going to be gone in disappointment, and we saw that with Wales earlier today. We've seen it with Ireland now, but New Zealand, they march on to the semi-final, and they'll be, eyeing now getting to that final and potentially lifting that trophy again. And you can't back against them at this stage. They've gotten better and better all the way through the competition. But New Zealand, next up for them is that semi-final against Argentina.